Hey, Taffy, and everybody else back there watching. Welcome. How you doing tonight? Can you hear me? Pretty sure you can. I see my thing moving. Hello, Cher, Jean, and Laughing Hawk. How is everybody? Turn my phone down. Hey, Chrissy. Great. I figured you could, Laughing Hawk, because I can see my thing booming. Hey, Wom. So I wasn't sure, hey, D. Berlin, how are you? I wasn't sure if I was going to do this case or not. It's pretty intense and pretty deep. Somebody brought it up last week in my chat. Actually, I think a few people did. But I started looking at it, and then it kind of refreshed my memory. But tonight I just thought, well, you know what? I'm just going to do like an intro into it. And then this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do that tonight. And then Thursday, I'm not sure if I'm going to be on or not. Because I'm going to do 2 more parts to it. I'm going to do her side one night, and then I'm going to do the prosecutor's side another night. Because as I started, I was looking into it and everything, and I was darn sure she was innocent. And then you start, so I'm, so that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to do 2 parts. I'm going to do her side. Hey, Lake. Hey, Junie. Hey, Chris. So I'm going to do, sorry, Chris, you distracted me. I'm going to do 2 parts. And I figure I should do it in the same week. So, that's how I'm going to do that. Hey, Ivy. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. And then when we're done, after you guys have seen both sides, and maybe you guys already have, maybe you already have an opinion, but I figured once we've seen both sides, then we can discuss and, form opinions, say what we think. Should she be in prison? Should she be out of prison? Do we think she was wrongfully convicted, or do we not? Welcome, Jason Peters. Yeah, Taffy, that's where I'm at right now. And yeah, right, Junie, yeah, certainly take call-ins when we do this. Hi, Anna. So tonight probably will not be a long chat. I'm sorry. I'm tired and wiped out. My granddaughter I was up all night the night before last with my granddaughter, and Then I was so tired. You ever have one of those nights where you're so tired you don't really sleep? So I laid down earlier and just woke up at 7:30 from a nap. So anyway, so did I miss anybody? Did I get everybody that came in? Hope I have not missed anybody. Taff. And I've missed a lot of live shows or chats, just because, I've either not been here, I've either been at Bible study, or I've just been sleeping or busy with the granddaughter. So, yeah. So, and another thing, I tried to find, I think Dana, I don't know if, Junie, can you message Dana really quick and tell her I'm here? I know she messaged me earlier and knew I was coming on tonight. Unless she has an older, I'm going to read from Wikipedia tonight, which I don't always like to because I don't think they're 100% all the time. But when I tried to find a news article from the very beginning, I couldn't. And then I did finally find one, but it kind of shifted into what I didn't want to go into tonight because of the two-part. So that's what I'm going to read from tonight. So I think I'll begin reading just a little bit. It's just a little bit because this is just the intro. We're not going to get in. I'm not going to get into the actual case. Oh, Dana's here. Hi, Dana. Oh, okay. Yeah. Be safe. Don't chat. Okay. So, she's 51 now. I did get that. She was born on January 4th, 1970. And she is from Rolla, Texas. I might be saying that wrong. Well, she was born in Altoona, Pennsylvania, but I guess when this happened, of course, it was Rolla, Texas. So on June 6th, 1996 at 2:30 a.m., dispatchers in Rolla, Texas received a call from the Routier residence. Routier told the operator that her home had been broken into and that an intruder had stabbed her children, 6-year-old Devin and 5-year-old Damon, and cut her throat. Police arrived within 3 minutes of the 911 call. They discovered a window screen in the garage had been cut out, which indicated a possible entry point for an intruder. A search of the house and grounds did not locate an intruder. Having thus secured the site, police permitted paramedics to attend to the victims. She told the police that she had fallen asleep on the couch with her 2 boys watching television, only to wake up later and discover an unknown man in her house. She stated that as she approached him, the man fled, dropping the knife in a utility room as he ran. After picking up the knife and chasing him away, Routier said she realized that she and her children had been wounded and that she called 911. Police found it highly suspicious that Routier and her sons had been severely wounded by an armed intruder without waking her until after the attack had occurred. Well, I guess I have to stop right there just for a minute, even though I didn't want to get into details. That if my memory serves me right, never mind, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to get into all that, the fuss tonight. Routier told police that the assailant escaped through the garage. Investigators said that, okay, see, this is getting into I don't want to get into that tonight, and I didn't think this did. But that's the gist of it. She, she woke up and, her boys were stabbed. And I may be wrong, but from everything I've looked at, it was then she was stabbed. But I could be wrong. Either way it goes, she was stabbed. She did have to have surgery. So, I mean, it is hard for me to just do this without, saying certain things tonight. But this is just supposed to be an introduction, so I'm going to try not to. She was later charged, and she was later convicted. While a ton of people stand behind her, her husband, her family, and tons of neighbors and friends. I think this is going to be very interesting for us when we do this. It's also hard. I was like, okay, what do I do first? Do I show the prosecutor's evidence first? Do I show her side first? And I just waited in my mind a couple, and I'm like, okay, we're going to go with hers first. And there's no way I could do it in a day's time. There's just no way, because it's just too much and it's too deep. And so that's how I'm going to do it. Hey, Let's Love. Hey, Sharon. So yeah, that's how we're going to do that. I think it will be quite interesting. I think there'll be lots of discussion, and yeah, we'll take call-ins. People can give opinions that way if they choose to. Great, Dana, you're home now. Yeah, love, how have you been? Haven't seen you for a little bit. Well, I haven't been on for a little bit, and I haven't been that active lately. Hey, Lake. Hey, Tony Water Baby. Thank you. I mean, I will say this much. Pretty much what Taffy said. I'm kind of torn. I know there's some evidence that the prosecutor used a couple things that I do totally disagree with, but we'll get there when we get there. I don't know. If she's not guilty, though, it's sad. Very, very sad. Oh, love, I'm sorry, because yes, I've not had gallbladder pain, but I know people who have, and I know that's horrible. Oh, Dana. Everybody's in Facebook jail. Well, pretty soon you won't have to worry about it because there won't be no Facebook. There won't be a lot of. And I did check out BitChute. I am on there. I'm just not sure I know how to use it, but I don't even know, if we'll have that. Who knows what's going on? I don't know. I'm tired of worrying about it. I'm just trusting God, and we'll just go with the flow. That's all I can do right now. Did you hear that? Sound like a puppy whining? That's Lexi. Hey, Carolina. Well, we don't have free speech, I guess, anymore. But yeah, that's the thing I'm worried about, love, is I mean, what if it bursts? Or what if, I mean, I understand the COVID part, but what if it needs removed, honey? Yeah, I'm really not on there that much, Mom. Hey, Nico. Oh, that's bad, love, if they're not helping at all. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, good point, Jenny. Make sure and watch your temp. Um, let's. So, what do you guys think? Um, you think that was a good idea to do it that way? To do this case that way? It, it was, I mean, I just didn't think there was any way to do it in one night. But the way I'm going to do it, that was actually a suggestion from a very good friend. I think it was a good suggestion to do one night her side, one night the prosecutor's side. But when I first started looking into it, and I was watching more and more and more, and I was like, I remember this. And then I was like, oh, wow, this is going to be, there's no way I can do this in one night. No way. Thanks, Dana. I agree, Lake. I agree. And ditto. Lots of hugs and prayers. Let's, but yeah, what Lake says, hugs and prayers, you may need to just wear a mask and go to ER if it doesn't ease up, because the thing is, Lutz, is You let that go so long, that can be really, really dangerous. It really can. Um, are you checking in with your doctor periodically, Lutz? Oh, okay. Yeah. Without getting too much in the case, but yes, this is true. They were comparing it a lot with the Susan Smith case. A lot. Um, yeah. Good point, Anna. Thank you. Oh, Lake. You instigator. You know what? I don't think I can. You know what? I don't know if it's the weather. I don't know, but I am just so tired all the time. And I think it is. I think it is. In the wintertime, I am a totally different person. I have no energy. I'm zapped. I'm tired. I'll admit I'm even a little depressed. The sunshine, Um, there's no way, like, I'm sorry to disappoint you, love. Thank you guys. I thought it was a good idea too. I mean, I knew there's just no way I could do the one night because it is pretty deep. And I mean, I'm like, man, do I want to do this? Do I want to just because it's wish me luck. Wish me luck. Um, but yeah, but the pain, she says they're not helping her. And that's pretty bad. Oh, yes. Yes, let's please call tomorrow. Yeah, and I believe they can do that. As a matter of fact, what's today, the 12th? A friend of mine is having, I couldn't believe this when I heard it. My friend is having a hysterectomy on the 15th, and it's outpatient. We were all like, what? I mean, they just do anything nowadays and send you right home. Well, mainly because of the COVID, but I just didn't know there was such a thing as outpatient for hysterectomy. And I mean, she's having a full hysterectomy. And I think the hysterectomy, other than one other surgery I had, and that was not my bariatric surgery, I think that my hysterectomy was the most painful surgery I'd ever had. I can't imagine them sending you right home after that. So, yes, yeah. I mean, they're doing a lot of things with that. Oh, let's see. Somebody had one of my friend's husbands recently. Well, I mean, I remember when my mom had knee surgery. Nowadays, I mean, they expect you to get right up and start walking the same. I was mad too. This was quite a few years ago. I was mad at them because I'm like, you expect her to get up and start walking off that thing today? Yeah, Dee Berlin. And my and it is that's one of the I'm really worried for you, Lutz, because that's one of the scariest things that I worry about. Because a lot of times when you have your hysterectomy, they will take your appendix and sometimes they'll take your gallbladder. And they did not take either of mine. And those are the two things I worry about because I have seen a friend go through an appendix situation, which was horrific. Well, actually, I've seen a couple, 3 people, because sometimes you don't know it's even happening. And I mean, I've seen somebody almost die because of it. And then um, I've seen people go through the gallbladder situation too. They think they are having, it can feel like they're having a heart attack sometimes. And one of my friends did. She thought that's what was going on. Well, then when I had my bariatric surgery, I meant to ask my doctor to take those 2 things out. He would have. I forgot. So I'm still stuck with them. So I when I hear these things happening with other people, my heart just goes out to them because I've seen other people go through it. Yeah. Uh, Jason Peters. Oh, by the way, I know I saw last night you're actually Tanya, but it shows up your husband's name. They don't really excite my dogs. It sends them off into a banshee. Thank you, Taff. I think it'll go fine. I think it will. I think a lot of you here are familiar with this case, it sounds like. And I didn't think I had ever heard of it, but as I started watching it, I remember now seeing it. Lutz says, yeah, they aren't doing anything, or if they are, it's not much to make me feel like they are, as it's still painful. I'm so sorry. And if painkillers aren't doing anything, then that just shows how much pain you are having. And you know what, though, I appreciate and thank you for being here tonight, even though you are in pain. I started to say maybe it's taking your mind off the pain, but probably not, because we're all talking about it. Dana says, Lutz, yes, my mom is good. This was back in 2001 when she had gotten it removed. My sister and I had to have ours removed as well. A bad gallbladder can make you deathly ill, so please stay on top of it. Yes, Dana, yes. Very true. Tony says, wow, when I had my hysterectomy back in 2010, they kept me for almost a week. I know, right? I don't think they kept me that long, but I know it was at least 3 or 4 days. But to be in there and right out the same day, I was like, are you kidding me? And I mean, that was probably my most painful surgery ever. When I had my bariatric surgery, I was just amazed. Everybody was amazed. I mean, the anesthesiologist did a pain blocker, but they were still amazed, like the techs and the nurses, because they want you to get up and walk. There's a sign on the wall of every room that says, not walking is not an option. And I was able to, and actually they make you walk from surgery back to your room. And I started walking right away then after I got back to my room, and they couldn't believe it. And nobody could believe that I didn't have pain. And they sent me home on pain meds. I never even took them because I was not in pain, but yet I could hear other people and patients just screaming out in pain. And then on my online support groups, they were in pain. And I was like, wow, I must be so lucky. But yeah, that hysterectomy done a number. Anna says, any chance for a second opinion? Have you had imaging of the gallbladder? Yeah, has he seen you, or did he just diagnose you over the phone because of your symptoms? Sharon, yeah, I have heard that, but around here, even when they do that, they would keep you at least one day. But she's not having that done. She's having it the way I had it done. And I mean, I was just floored by that. Now, I mean, I don't know for sure nowadays how they do that here. They may let you out the same day because, like I said, for almost anything nowadays, they're letting you out the same day. But she's having it the other way. But I was just floored. Tanya says, my friend had hysterectomy surgery and it was day surgery. Anna, no, I just saw a nurse practitioner who spoke and poked me, and she said that. Then I had a phone call from doctor on Monday. So they didn't run tests, they didn't take an ultrasound or anything, Lutz? I'm not saying anything bad about nurse practitioners. I like nurse practitioners. I mean, they're just as good as the doctors. As a matter of fact, my old doctor that retired, I would go back and forth because I liked him and his nurse practitioner just as well. As a matter of fact, when he retired, I kept seeing my nurse practitioner. And when he retired, that about did me in. And then she retired, I don't know how much long later. And that really did me in. And I just hope now the doctor I have, I can, so far I like him. But when you see somebody for so long, it's really hard, especially when you know them personally because you worked with them at the hospital. Yeah, ultrasound sounds like a good plan. I think they should have done that day though. That's just my opinion. I think they should have. Right, Carolina. Dana says, tell them you need an ultrasound. That will show if you have gallstones. Because it could be gallstones, not gallbladder. It could be, Lutz says, I thought I'd pulled something as initially the pain didn't feel like where I thought my gallbladder would be. It felt more in my back or shoulder. Then had pain in front, just under rib cage and stabbing pain. Well, that's how my friend, when she had, I'm just going to tell you what happened to her. She said her stomach was feeling upset. It woke her up. She got up. She went and sat in the living room. Then she said her pain started up under her rib cage, in her back, her shoulder, and then she said it got so tense, she thought she was having a heart attack. She said she was down on the floor, rolling around and everything back and forth. And her husband said, what is wrong with you? And she said, call 911. I think I'm having a heart attack. That's how bad the pain was. So at first reading this, I started to say, well, if it's in your back and shoulder, but then I got further reading it, then it sounds something like what my friend had. So I would say you need to be looked at more and you need some tests run, definitely an ultrasound. Oh, this is Jason this time. Okay, or both of you. All right. D. Berlin says, Ange, I remember watching a show on TV years ago on this case. Interesting and so sad. Yes. So, guys, when I do put this up, and I'm going to try to have it up the day before, maybe even Sunday. The thing is I don't know if it shows up for you guys. It's really weird that I can't see it. I can't see my own scheduled YouTubes until after the show. I don't know why. I don't know. But so if I put it up Sunday, I hope you guys will be able to see it. Or I'm sure you guys will see it if I put it up Monday, but I'm going to link, what I have watched. And if you guys can try to watch it, if you're not familiar with the case, or even if you are and need a little refresh on it, that way when we do, part 1 Tuesday, we can better discuss it, or, give our opinions, and people can call in, or, because I think 2020 has 4 parts to it. And I mean, there's just a lot of stuff out there. And I think I did come across a documentary. I'm not sure. So if you guys can do that'll just be, that way we're all prepared that night to discuss and give our opinions and such. Yeah, Carolyn, that's yeah. Yeah, like, that's how my friend was. Oh, thank you, Tony. Thank you. God bless you too, sweetheart. Awesome, and we'll be praying tonight. You remember it, Wom? Yeah. People will say, "Can you look at this case?" or "Have you heard of this case? Have you?" And I'll be like, "No, I haven't heard of that one." And like you've heard me say before, I'm amazed at how many cases I've not heard of, because I've just loved, true crime since I was a kid. But then, I started watching it, and I'm like, I remember this. And, but I still didn't really, know all the actual, details, that much into it. So, and it's really deep, though, in my opinion. Okay, Wom. Sharon said, huh? D. Berlin says, I'm just going to call you D, if that's fine. I will tell you the most painful surgery was the gallbladder. It was laparoscopic, and they had me in and out the same day. I was mad they sent me home so fast. Yeah. I mean, I understand now why they would, because of COVID. And personally, I wouldn't want to be in the hospital if, I personally, unless I was in super, super pain, or, I probably would hold off going to the hospital at all costs if I could. But you need to get something done about this. So I understand the COVID thing, but you can't not take care of somebody if they need to be taken care of. I mean, this is serious. Carolyn, refresh, honey. Everybody else see me okay? Caroline is having a problem. Refresh, sweetheart. Hey, Chuck, I saw you come in. There you are. That's how bad your pain was. You were praying for God to take you. Yeah. And welcome, by the way, Glued. I think I've seen you somewhere in another chat. Oh, Greenos. Yes. I'm just torn, Tony. I'm torn. I'm gonna save it till the nights we talk. If I come on Thursday, it'll probably just be chat, because here's the thing. I don't want to cloud my mind with thoughts on something else. And this is just me. I don't know how other YouTubers are, but if I'm working on something, I have to just stay right there. I can't work on something else while I'm working on this, or it will. So if I do come on Thursday, all we'll be doing is chatting. If somebody wants to call in and tell me about something else and talk about something else, that's fine. But I'm not going to be able to do a case Thursday night because I've got my head in this one. If that makes any sense to you guys. And I'm sorry. Blame it on my ADD. I just can't do it. Okay, D. Good. Good. Thank you. Yeah, Chuck, that's the way a lot of doctors do that. And I was surprised that my doctor didn't do that when I had my hysterectomy. Yep. I mean, I've not had kidney stones, but my mom has many times. Taffy, I can't shut up. Go to ER. Yeah. I'm not to the point yet. I haven't watched all of the trial yet, Glued, so I'm not. But what parts I have seen, I thought her lawyers pointed it out. What I've seen, they seemed pretty good, at least from what I've seen, but I haven't seen all of it yet. So I can't say they were good or they were bad, but I thought they blew away some of the evidence the prosecutors put out, but evidently the jury didn't feel that way. But we'll talk more about it when we. They haven't, Anna. They haven't, and they need to. They need to do ultrasound and stuff. Very true, Wombat. They shouldn't have. Yeah, love, you might have to just go to ER if your doctor doesn't do anything. You might just have to go straight to ER. Um, because and they'll figure it out. Yeah, Anna, my friend that's getting hers has been waiting since May because of COVID. But I don't know. I'm all confused on the COVID anyway. At least here in Indiana, our governor said the other day that we're on the decline, but yet I'm seeing the news say we're different. So I don't, which that would be I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry, Anna. I add that to my list. And that's very nice of you. Very, very nice and sweet of you. I'm glad she has a friend like you. Carolina, yes, she's on death row. Oh, okay. Well, we'll talk about that on the night, part 1 or 2, Chris. But the husband, I don't know. I don't think that. Oh, you do too, Taffy? Well, okay. Well, I, I don't know. Maybe. The thing that is, what is so hard and is aggravating with every case we talk about it is we never really know. You know what I mean? I mean, for 100%. I mean, we can, it can seem as we know, or we can think, or we can, and that's what the aggravating part is. Yeah, Wom, isn't she? Well, sure, we'll be praying for you, love, and for your friend Anna, or Anna for your friend. I'm sorry, I got that backwards. Let's see. I'm going to put a comment up there so I can take these down. Excuse me. And I'm so upset. This is totally off topic, but I've only got one of my orange drinks left. And they're out. Hopefully they get more in tomorrow. I'm drinking Coke right now, which I'm not supposed to. Especially I was just having stomach problems. But I don't think that I really think what caused my stomach problems was my New Year's Eve drink. So, probably will never have another drink again. Yeah, that's true, Anna. Some doctors don't care about pain. And then doctors who do care about pain get accused of being, what do you call those doctors? And even though those doctors do exist, but you don't, Carolina? Well, I don't agree with the death penalty. I think everybody here knows that, and I think I've explained why. I think Ginger talked about that last night on Mel's live. I I had to leave, but I did pop back in and watch off and on, and I heard Ginger um, talk about that with Garrett, and that's why I don't believe in it. I think if you are 100% guilty, that is, I think you should serve out every single day of your life in prison, remembering why you're there. Um, when you just get a needle in your arm, lay down, get a needle in your arm, I think that's too easy. I mean, not everybody, because I know people, I know a lot of people are afraid to die. So, but I think also most people would rather choose to lay down and go to sleep than go to prison for the rest of their life. Garrett probably being one of them. I don't know. Yes, Lutz, can you send that to me? Maybe we can do that case next, but I sure will pray. Um, if you would not mind, will you send that case to me, Lutz? That reminds me of somebody. I can't think of her last name. She was in prison for 17 years because they thought she set her mobile home on fire. And let me see, because I don't want to quote it wrong. I think one of her children died in the fire in his baby bed. And her story is in a book. Maybe we'll talk about that one night. But anyways, she had, I think, the Innocent Project and some special fire agency that also disproves arson. But anyway, they proved her, they got her justice, overturned her conviction, but it took her 17 years. You know, my thing is when somebody, I mean, this is just my own opinion. Yes, there may be some out there that do, but when somebody fights for years and years and years and years, and they don't give up, they don't back down, their story doesn't waver. Stephen Avery, I'm going to use as an example, but Christine's story didn't either. And she fought and fought and fought. And, you know, almost within your heart. I mean, I just feel like at some point, if you are guilty, you're just going to throw your hands up and give up. That's just my own personal opinion, because I think if you're not guilty, you get to a point sometime you feel like throwing your hands up and giving up, but you don't, because you darn sure know you're innocent. But if you would send me that case, unless you don't, you don't want it to go, be talked about. But I sure will pray. Yes. Good question, Jason. Oh, I'm so sorry, Anna. So, so sorry. So true, Anna. Yes, without imaging, it's not possible to judge seriousness of the condition. Jason, because they are morons, the woman was called Una Crown. They misread the crime scene. 2 police officers and paramedics. It was 2 days later before they ruled it murder. Thank you, love. Thank you. Thank you. And Chris, I will get to yours. I promise. Slow down though, buddy, because no, you can send me whatever. I'll just be able to get to them, one of them at a time or 2 of them. If I come on Thursday and do my chat, I may be able to bring up a couple things Chris sent to me, because they're just they're not like a whole case. A couple of them. Yeah, they thought she set herself on fire on the hob. Then, as she was falling, her scarf tightened around her neck and cut it twice. I guess they thought skin tears as of her age. Another main symptom of gallbladder disease is sharp pain radiating up back to right shoulder blade. Yeah, yep. That sounds similar to Cameron Todd Willingham case. He was executed a few years ago for setting fire to his home, which killed his kids. Now fire experts have came forward saying he's innocent. Hold on one second, guys. I'm going to tell you who this one lady is, and you can, I'm sure if you Google, it'll come up with her story. But she is friends with the one guy from Missouri. The Innocent Project got out. She works with people from the Innocence Project now. Oh man, what's her name? She's not popping up. I know I didn't unfriend her. Well, I don't know. She's not pulling up with just her first name like it usually does. I'll have to find it later. However, sometimes Facebook unfriends you from people, you know. She might have left Facebook. A lot of people are leaving Facebook right now. And how old is she, Lutz? Well, I don't either, Chuck. However, we know it does happen. I mean, we've seen many horrific stories, but I'm just not sold on that she did this. Wom, neither are mine. Neither are mine. Sharon. Me too, Wom. I should have got new glasses last year, and I didn't. Don't ask me why I didn't, but I didn't, and I need to be making an appointment. 86? Oh, heavens to Betsy. Yeah. There's a lot of stories like that, Jason. You're saying a mom, right? Not your mom. Just to clarify. Right, Sharon. My eye doctor's office has had a few people. They haven't had it. Their employees haven't had it, but they've had a lot of people had to cancel because they have had it. Shoot, Chuck, if I didn't wear my glasses, I'd be blind. And you know, the thing is I used to have the best eyesight. I mean, the best. My friend and me, one of my friends, we would, we'd just be driving everywhere or whatever, and I'd point something out, and she'd say, How'd you see that? You always see, you know, everything. She said, I can't see it. She goes, you have the best eyesight. And I used to. I never thought in a million years I'd have to wear glasses. And I started out with just needing reading glasses. And then before you know it, I mean, I cannot hardly see anything without my glasses. I can watch TV without them, but it takes me like 2 or 3 minutes to be able to focus in on the TV. Other than that, I cannot. And I would say, even though all the eye doctors, and even though right now I have one of the best eye doctors, they've all said diabetes didn't affect my eyes. When I had diabetes, before I had my surgery, I think they're wrong because, and now they just get worse with, I'm 51, 5'1", I'll be 52. No, golly, I don't even know my own age. I will be 51, 5'1" in February. Here I am. I don't even know my own age. I was born in 70. This is 21. I'll be 51. No, I don't have cataracts, Sharon. Although my last visit, he did say he saw a start of one. He said way back there. Whatever that means, I don't know. I don't understand that terminology. I took med terminology. And I do know a lot of med terminology from working in the hospital, but not about eyeballs. I need a magnifying glass, probably. Yeah, right, let's. And I'm stuck wearing, these bigger glasses that I wear. And they are my newest ones that I had. I liked wearing my other ones because they're littler. I don't like big glasses. But they were hurting my nose all of a sudden for some reason. Remember me complaining about that? And my husband tried to do something. I think he tried to change my things on there, and now they're like, I don't know what he did, but now I can't even wear them because I don't like what those things. So now I'm stuck with my bigger glasses. Yeah, steroids are very hard on your eyes. Steroids are good they do a lot of good for some things, but they're hard on other areas of your body, like your eyes, your lungs. Even though at the same time they help you breathe, they are good for helping you breathe, but they also can hurt your lungs if you're using them long term. Okay, Sharon, I'll ask about that. Wombat. No way am I admitting that. Yeah, Anna, I can believe that. Well, I think they're saying that they're out of beds, or, I think they're all saying that they're full and stuff. Right. Yeah, love. Fogged up all the time. Yeah. But my governor's saying it's on the decline. I don't get it. I don't know. I'm just, I don't know. But I'm glad you all think that this is a good idea. I don't think I would have been able to do it any other way. Um, other than Lake suggested a 6-hour live stream. That probably would have been the only way we would have been able to do it. And I don't know that I can do a 6-hour live stream anymore. Okay, Lake. Thanks for coming, honey. Have a good night. Love you. You're welcome, Anna, but no need for thanks. I don't know how I stayed awake, Junie. I don't know how. I mean, I just didn't even realize we were on that long. Sometimes time just flies. Um, yes, that was when I first went on Let's. I don't know. I can't remember, but I think I'm coming up on a year. So it was around there. We done a 6-hour live stream one night. Not intentionally, it just happened. And then I think we done a 3-hour once. Well, maybe more than once. Well, I don't, I'm just, I would call myself an occasional drinker and have a drink, like maybe a glass of wine, but I have wine in my fridge that's been there for I don't know how long, and I haven't had any desire to drink. Same with my fuzzy navel. And I just had that on New Year's Eve. And then I had my stomach issues, and I think that's what it was. I was only in there for a little while, Sharon. Actually, she asked me on Twitter if I would mod for her. And I said, any other time I would. I I can't tonight. And I gave her the reasons why, and I'm not going to say publicly why, because I'm not going to bash. But I think if Cher's here, she knows why. Another family on Jason's channel the other night mentioned him and why. There was another family, and then when he first started doing Delphi. But I did watch, and yes, I did comment. I was just because facts weren't right. Ron wasn't on house arrest. He said that's why he got arrested, because he was on house arrest. No. He got arrested because he was driving while suspended, and he was on probation. And then he had said Ron's barn is pretty far from his house. No, it's not. So I was just, I just said what I disagreed with and what I know as to be fact. That's all. But he's pretty sold on Garrett Kurtz, I see, which I knew. And he said his reason, which I don't think that's a good enough reason to say it's Garrett Kurtz. I mean, I think a lot of other people's reasons are way better than, I mean, while I was in there, tell me if I am wrong, unless he changed it before and after. But what I heard, he said, and let me tell you why. I think he killed them right there, from meaning he's saying because he thinks they were moved, he's saying he never took them across the creek. Okay, that's your theory, but that's why he killed them? I mean, he didn't give a motive as to why. He didn't give, I mean, if he's your POI, why though? Why? Other than, he moved them. Now, I know in the beginning when he first started talking about Delphi, he said that Garrett Kurtz had the girls held up in Ron's barn and was watching the searchers throughout the night. Wrong. You cannot see down there from Ron's barn. There's no way. And I do know he did go out there. He's not lying about that. He did go out there one day and do all of that, because I ran into him and somebody else that day. But he didn't go on Ron's property, obviously, because he has no idea, what he's talking about there. But now he must be thinking that they took the girls out the private drive and held them up until everybody left from the search that night. In between, the search was called off at midnight, and then the family and some LE and firefighters were out there searching until 2:30 or 3 in the morning. So he's saying from that time to the time they came back the next day, there was a big open area for somebody to bring the bodies back in. That's what he's saying. But he didn't state why he's his POI, at least not while I was in there. I wasn't in there the whole time because I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it because he had his facts all over the place and not right. And so somebody messaged me, though, and said something, and I said, I can't take it. I said, I'm tired. I didn't get no sleep. I'm going to bed. And she said, well, I was going to say, do you think you're talking to yourself? Because, he wasn't, nobody was, he wasn't responding or nothing. But, he said he's going to go out there in February, and he was inviting everybody and anybody to come because he's willing to work with anybody and everybody, which that's a good thing. I mean, really, If we all want the same thing, then that's what should happen. But we all know that's not possible. I mean, because, um, you know, it's just not. And I'm not going to go into all that. So, well, I mean, I'm not going to say it's 100% not possible, Sharon, that they could not have. But I think it's probably unlikely. I don't know. You know, the thing is there's so much we don't know as fact. You know, we can think, maybe we can theorize, um, we can have opinions, and that is all good and okay. I think, as long as we don't accuse the family, bash the family, um, and say it as fact, and say, you know, well, I know for a fact this person did it, or that person did, or, you know, if you heard it from somebody, that's what you should say. You can't just because somebody told you doesn't make it so. And that's the way, you know, theories are okay. Opinions are okay. Thoughts are okay. But we don't know anything. Well, and that's something else, Sharon. I'm not 100% on, I I think some were, but then you hear that they left at around 2:30 or 3 and then came back. I don't know. But um I don't know, you know. We know anything is possible, but we have to stop and think what's logical. I typed it for you, Sharon. Yeah, he probably does. Yeah, he does, Anna. Oh yeah, she's making noises. See, I didn't even realize it though, Taffy, until you said something. Well, and another thing, oh, I just lost it. Oh, I was going to say something else. Bodies removed. I just lost it. It was something I keep hearing over and over. Dang it. Darn it. It's something I keep seeing and hearing over and over and over, but it's very unfactual. I can't remember now. No, you didn't, Taffy. It happens, my ADD. Dana, I think how does he know? That's my thing. How does he know this? How does anybody know that? You know, just like the drops of blood and stuff. Oh, that's what I was going to comment on. People are taking things out of context about the crime scene. They're saying how the crime scene looked pristine. There wasn't much blood. There wasn't this, there wasn't that. And they're confusing that by, I don't know, but Ron is the one who said that. Ron is the one that said it just looks so pristine. He said that in an interview. It wasn't a rumor. He did say it. But he's the one who said that. And that is because, envision it yourself. 2 little babies were murdered on your property. CSI comes out, cleans up the crime scene. Then you're at the murder site or the crime scene, and you're looking at where they tell you this is where it happened. And it looks just like it would any other time. But you're saying, well, it sure doesn't look like a murder happened here. You don't want to believe it happened there. So, number one, people took that, looked at it the wrong way. Boom, Ron's the guy. But number two, people somehow got that twisted up. And they're saying they were there at the crime scene before it was cleaned up. There was no blood. There was this and that left and all that. We don't know that. We don't know that. And Rob Ives comes out and says there were signatures. The crime scene was odd. And people start making up all these things in their mind. And so my thoughts on that, Sharon, is one, nobody knows. Nobody knows what it looked like. Nobody knows what was there, what wasn't. We don't know that he left anything. If he did leave those things, then I don't know. Yeah, rumors. And you're right about the terrain, Lutz. You're right. Good night, Jason. Thank you for coming. Have a good night. Right, Lutz. They're not. But yeah, so that's my take on that. But I did watch a good Dr. Todd the other night on Stephen Avery. I know it's totally off subject. You know, he does the analysis. He analyzes people. It was pretty good. He said he gives the reason why kind of like a judge in a way, like the mitigating factors, why, that would show guilt, and then, or aggravating, and then mitigating why he shouldn't. But then he said that they should have found him not guilty by reasonable doubt. Yeah, the bird. Oh, and I saw somebody ask how baby Ruskus is. He's great. He follows me around everywhere. He loves Daddy more. So when Daddy's here, And Daddy goes to bed, that's where he's at. He's something else. Well, guys, I'm going to sign off. I really hate to. I've really missed you guys a whole lot. A lot. I've missed a lot of chats. I've missed several of Jason's because he's kind of been coming on sporadically. And then a couple of his I've fallen asleep on or I've missed. Like he's done some through the day, so I missed those. I've missed all of Greeno's pretty much because it's just been crazy here. I mean, my little granddaughter was sick, and so anyways, but I thank you guys. Oh, hold on a minute. I'm going to see what Tony said. I had my first injection in my neck today. Pain meds are wearing off. I must lay down. So glad. Okay, good night, Tony, and thank you so much. God bless you too. Oh, Wom, thank you for being here. Thank you all for coming. You know, they're talking about taking all social media down or whatever. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. Most of you have my phone number. So we can stay in touch if that does happen. But you know, hopefully it doesn't happen. Yes, Lutz, please email me about that. Angels on your pillow, Sharon. Okay, guys. So we'll probably just do a chat Thursday, and I might show you a couple videos of things Chris has sent me. But I'll come on because I love you guys and miss you so much. All right. So you all have a good night, sweet dreams, and God bless.